You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's The Originals After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's The Originals After Show.
What up, AfterBuzzers? I am not DJ Jesse Janity. I'm Roxy Striar, and I am here with another after show for The Original Season 1, Episode 21, The Battle of New Orleans. Intense episode. Yes. Before we get into it, let me introduce my co-host, Cortez West.
What's going on, people? Hello, Cortez West here.
Thanks God that you joined the show with us,
really?
Because otherwise I'd be sitting talking to myself. We're so into the song tonight.
I know, right? This is my song, though.
We gotta go download
Roxy
it.
and I had to rewind it back when we was like, wait.
So it's Freaks the Hawk in Paris. So everybody's going to want to download it after this. I mentioned what the name of it is because the last few weeks we've been playing music and everybody's been asking us, what song did you open with? And I tweet back at them, so now they know.
There you go.
Freaks
now you know
the
Freaks
Hawk in Paris.
by the Hawks in Paris.
Okay, I want to get your overall view on tonight's episode. I know that at some points I was looking over at you and you seemed really into it, and other points you seemed a little disappointed. Am I reading you correctly, or what are you thinking?
You were reading correctly because my actions speak louder.
Okay.
For me, it was very interesting at one point, but then it got to be too much.
A little over the top.
Yeah, I was kind of like, whoa, wait. I even had to stop it and ask Roxy, okay, wait a minute. Didn't so-and-so do so-and-so to so-and-so?
Right.
Like, it was just too much, but I got it, and you helped me get it. So
there was a lot going on and a lot of aha moments that I felt like I gave less weight to each because everything this episode was like, oh my, and just like.
And some of the predictions and some of the thoughts that we had about certain characters were coming true.
Yeah.
Especially for people like Francesca,
absolutely. Not trusting her.
Yes, people like Oliver.
Genevieve.
Genevieve, yes.
Yeah, so we're going to get into every single part of this. I know that you guys at home might be a little confused about things. We might be a little confused about
maybe
things.
You can help us out.
Yeah, of course,
or help
always.
me out, And thank you for the comments, by the way. You guys have really been coming, and they've been like commenting and helping me out and giving me answers and telling me what you should and should I do.
Amazing. On iTunes and YouTube, they've been so freaking fantastic. Yes. You guys are the best fans ever. So as always, you can keep the conversation going with us in all those places and on Twitter.
Miss you, Jesse? Yeah,
we do. We miss Jesse. Tweet at Jesse and let him know that we want him back here. He'll be back next week, of course.
What he say? Boop.
Yeah. Hashtag boop.
Boop.
Oh yeah. Who's gonna tell me all the hip lingo?
I know.
Are you hip with the lingo?
I'll try to a little bit. Poquito.
Poquito. Okay, so we have. I was gonna say now we have to talk about the wolves. We have to talk about the humans, and we have to talk about the witches and the vampires. But we don't even really have any humans left. I mean,
that is so true because we thought Francesca was a human.
Yeah, we thought that she was a human and all of her people were the humans.
Right.
We found out tonight in a huge moment that they are the wolves, which is what this key was leading up to. And now we know why she wanted that key so bad.
Well, actually, Cami found out before.
Right.
That what was really going on.
Yeah. Okay. So Cami's our human. Cami's our token human right now. There we go. So we do have just her left.
And now it's so funny because someone actually said this in the comments. They were like, Cami has a point of she's gonna be there for a moment. She has some kind of play that she has to play.
Absolutely.
So she's not gonna die off too soon.
We have to get used to her character because she's sticking around.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you have been watching this after show since the beginning, you know that I've had a hard time with her character.
Yeah. Even when I got on.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I felt like they were gonna pull her away from us.
Yeah.
But now that I feel like she's really part of this and really somebody that I should invest my time in, I'm opening up to her and I'm realizing she could be a key player here.
Yeah.
And I like that she's our token human now. Okay, but start of the episode, we have Jackson and Oliver, who are our wolves, or I guess some of our wolves now, and they're driving. And all of a sudden, Marcel stops them. He is with Diego, and they take them captive because they have started to figure out that these wolves are working with the brothers, correct?
Right, correct.
So why is that such a big deal that these wolves are working with the brothers, and why is this bother Marcel so much, do you think?
I think it's bothering Marcel because it's a point of where Hayley is involved, and I think he does still kind of have a soft spot for Hayley as well.
Oh, you think so?
I think so. I honestly do.
Because he did try to help her then.
Yeah. So also he's just trying to let them know that he doesn't really have a soft. I mean, he doesn't really have anything bad against him because he was not the one that set the bombs in their camp.
Right. And he's trying to figure out why they have these stones and what they're getting after. And
then plus they're working with Klaus,
right?
That's his enemy right now. So
it's just constantly showing that Marcel is smart. You know, the brothers are smart, but Marcel is smart as well, and nothing's going under his nose. You know, he knows that these wolves are working with them, and he's here to figure it out. And at some point, you know, I get nervous because I think that Jackson has a really good head on his shoulder, but we're really nervous about Oliver. And we see tonight that Jackson ends up saying he'll give all these secrets to save Oliver's life, and I don't think Ollie would have done the same thing for Jackson.
I was going to say that. I've said that before because I don't trust them either.
You don't trust either of them?
I still don't trust neither one of them.
See, I'm starting to really trust Jackson.
I think Jackson is all for just Hayley, not for anything else. I think he's still stuck on that pact on what their parents had on them, for one, and then even after the pact, maybe he's just in love with Hayley, period.
Well, I mean, you have to give him some credit there because this guy's grown up his whole life dreaming of this girl he was supposed to marry that was never there, dreaming of her and what she could be, and then she comes and she's like this bombshell. I mean, he probably was like, this is everything I've ever wanted, like nervous of who it could have been and what she looked like and who she was, and here she shows up and she's a 10 and also an amazing heart and all of these things. And I think it's just like I don't think he's being that pushy with it. I just think he let her know that they were supposed to be together and he's interested. Yeah,
but I also think, I mean, I don't know. It's going to slowly show for me, and maybe I'm wrong, but my judge of character is, I don't know. I just feel like Jackson is kind of like, and I may be wrong, but I was definitely right about Oliver.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, we can both agree on the fact that Oliver, not as good of a guy as Jackson, especially by the end of tonight's episode when we see him go to Francesca and we know where he's been this whole time. And we learned a couple weeks ago that he's the one who helped to plant these bombs. I mean, how could you do that to your own people? It makes me really question him, which is why I don't think they would make both of those guys bad. Because then who's left of that team?
Well, I don't know. You're right. I don't think that Jackson knew about the bomb situation or anything of that nature. I just think that Oliver has his point of, or his, I guess you can say, his objective of what he's doing, and then Jackson has his, which could be just worried about Hayley.
Okay.
I think that he was worried about the pack, or trying to see that he wants to be involved with the pack because of Hayley. If Hayley wanted to be involved with, I don't know, the grasshoppers, maybe he'll be on board with that. I just think it's all about Hayley.
Okay.
And then Oliver is about power.
Well, we even hear that tonight. Everybody's saying this is all for Hayley. It's all about Hayley and Hayley and the baby, you know? Everybody's fighting for that baby right now, which is so nerve-wracking. And I don't even know what hands I want the baby to end up in.
I just wanted to end up in Hayley's hand.
And nobody else?
And no one else.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, so at the same time this is going on, we see Josh is with Davina, and they're in the sun because we know that Josh now has this ring because of the Klaus.
It's good to see Josh in a way to where he's not worried about something.
Yeah, I mean, at least at the top of the episode, by the end of it, we're not there. But yeah, it is. It's nice to see them out there. But Davina is so worried about Josh. She's scared that he's going to get caught in the crossfire here, and we see that he actually does. Meanwhile, she tells him that Marcel's after this cloaking spell and that she gave it to him, but she's nervous that there's going to be a war, and Davina is seeing Michael everywhere.
Who did you say was after the cloaking spell?
Marcel. She said that Marcel asked her for the cloaking spell and that she gave it to him.
Okay. So I thought Michael wanted the cloaking spell towards Klaus or something like that.
Maybe it was Michael that was. I think she said that she gave it to Marcel already. No, okay. I think she said Marcel was after the cooking spell. She gave it to him because she loves him or whatever, but she's scared of what he's going to do with it. I don't know whether it was just to hide the layer or because of then the bombs. I don't really know. Maybe you guys at home, maybe we missed something here with the cloaking spell, but we could definitely use you guys' helps for it. But anyway, so she is seeing Michael. We know that. She just says it's witch stuff, but it's a bigger deal than that. And Michael is trying to come back to life. He wants to be seen. He wants to be brought back, and he wants to take down Klaus. And he's the only one who really can. So we're scared. We're scared about that. I mean, I am scared about that.
I kind of actually want Klaus to die.
What?
There's a part of me that's like kind of irritated with Klaus a little bit.
What do you mean?
Like, my thing, if you want to do good, you should do good. If you want to do bad, you should do bad. Stick with one or the other.
I don't think most people want to do bad. I think that most people I think some people want to do good and other people just want to do.
I think Klaus is a little immature. Character is a little immature at times. I just think that he feels like if someone does him wrong, he has to go back and do them wrong. Or he has to put them under some kind of, what's the word? My words are out tonight. But has to put them under some kind of little bet or pact. This, if you have to do this first to show me your loyalty first, and then so on and so on. So, but then you turn around and do things where like you bite Josh, and then you tell Davina, in order to help Josh, then blah 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 blah, and then you walk out.
See, I'm feeling the exact opposite about Klaus. I feel like I feel bad for him all the time now.
I mean, but if my thing is, okay, if you wanted to get something out of Davina, okay, great. Bite Josh, get him in front of Davina, get your answer from Davina, and then go ahead and heal him, and then leave that situation alone. But for you to feel like you have to still hold Josh as leverage for something else further, I just feel like no.
That's because he's smart, And for all he knew, Davina could have been lying, and he would have already fixed Josh. I mean, I guess then he could have just bit Josh again, but Josh might be out of town and whatever, I don't know. I think he's smart. And I am starting to feel bad for him because he's so used to having all of this power and it's slowly getting stripped from him and he doesn't know what to do. He has a child on the way and he can't protect it right now, and he's getting outsmarted, which is a terrifying thought. I mean, well, we're going to get to it later, but I do feel bad. I think if Klaus died, what do we have left? Just Elijah. It wouldn't be the originals. It would just be the original, Unless,
right, because Rebecca is going and everything.
Yeah, I know. I do think we'll get her back, though.
Yeah, I do think so, too. Maybe she'll get out of her family and come back.
Yeah, I know. And then she'll miss them again, and she'll leave us. I understand, but we do really miss her. Anyway, in the meantime, then we've got Cami, who is going, and she's solving this code. The code that we remember that her brother taught her, and now she's found in the box, and she's putting it together, and she's figuring out where to go with it. So we don't know where she's going yet. We just see her solving things, right? Okay. Francesca goes to Cami, and she threatens her, saying, everybody needs friends, but I need the key, and give me the key. I can be your friend. I'll give you till tomorrow. Why does Francesca want this key so bad? Does she know? Does she know what it leads to?
Of course.
She knows that if Cami finds it first, that Cami will figure out that she is actually the wolf.
Right. And then on top of that is, I think, that key leads to something else.
Well, it was an entire room of stuff. Yeah. So all we know is what's in the box that says Cami. What are we thinking could be in all the other things there? Like, is it, what? What do you think?
Well, it turns out that Francesca is a Guerrera, right?
Okay. So now we have the Guerreras.
Yeah.
I had to write.
Marcel told us about that. Well, Francesca's side of the family when Hayley came to his house. Remember?
Wait, say it again.
When Hayley came to visit Marcel after the bombing in the camp.
Okay.
Okay. And she told him that about her family, about her wolves, and wolves who had the little dad, with the wolves from who owned the casino, right? And Francesca family was a part of that. Remember, because we thought
Francesca's family was a part of that.
Well, no, she said it. I remember when Hayley broke the guy, killed the guy.
I'm saying she said it, but now we don't know if that's Francesca's real family, if that was the family she was pretending to have.
Well, see, that's the part where I got kind of confused.
Right.
Maybe you all can kind of hear me out, because I thought that Marcel was saying that the people who ran the clubs and owned the clubs and the casinos were wolves. a different type of breed of wolves.
So we've got the Guerreras and we've got the Crescents. Those are the two types of wolves that we have right now.
So I'm thinking the Crescents. The Crescents was a part of Hayley's.
Right. The Crescents are the one with the tat on their back or that mark on their back, which is Hayley's crew. And there's the Guerreras, which is part of Francesca's crew.
Right. So I'm thinking the Guerreras was over the casinos and all that kind of stuff.
But we thought the humans owned the casinos. So have they just for all these years?
That's what we thought Francesca was.
Yeah, exactly. We thought Francesca was a human, which made us think that the humans had owned all of the things.
So it's actually not.
But I don't know because Francesca had faked her birth certificate. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Okay.
So here's what I'm confused about. Is it that Francesca was pretending to be part of a family that wasn't hers and they were all humans and she's the first wolf in that line? Or is it all wolves that go back? But then how did she fake her birth certificate? Did she just fake it to say, I'm a human, not a wolf? Do you get what I'm saying?
Well, the wolves are not allowed in New Orleans. So she had to be in there in order to find the key or in order to get the stones.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Wolves are not able to be in New Orleans, in the city, right?
The wolves have to be on the outskirts, in the bayou and on the outskirts. Yeah, no, I'm not. But that's not answering the question. The question is it that the wolves all of these years have been hiding who they are, knowing they're wolves for this chance to do this? Or is Francesca the first generation of the wolves and she's pretended to have a human family? You know what I mean? Like, how did she, did her, do you get it? Like, yeah. I don't know the answer. I don't get it.
Actually, your first assumption is what I'm thinking now. It's like they had to fake for that moment to get those stones or to get to the point of getting back to the city.
So it's taken all this time in order to get there.
Yeah, and she's not the only one, remember, because there was the other guys who had to kill someone in order to become a wolf, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, we know that now. We've known that from Vampire Diaries that came over to this show. Right. In order to become a wolf, even if you already are a werewolf, in order to fully enact that.
Transition to go over,
because we learned with Tyler, you have to kill somebody.
Right. And you all taught me that from the girl who passed, forgot her name, that Ollie killed.
Oh, yeah, Eve.
Mm-hmm. I learned that from
and that. We see tonight, I thought this was interesting, Francesca's never killed somebody before. She seemed to me like a killer, but she would have invoked these powers, so she kills somebody and she ends up turning, and then all of her people end up doing the same thing. But it is a confusing thing. I maybe you guys at home get it again, how she faked her birth certificate to show, was she trying to tack onto a human family, or was she just showing that she was a human? You know, maybe
they'll show that this finale.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe it's out there and just
we missed it or something.
It's just a lot of information.
Because remember, we said she popped out of nowhere once Father K passed away.
Right, absolutely, and obviously Father K was aware of her existence, which is why in this room, in this box, he had a file written to Cami.
He had some of everything.
Right. So if he knew this, then why was he keeping it? And what team was he really on? You know, it brings up all of these questions on, was he helping to hide what family she belonged with or what? Because we know that Marcel told us that Hayley was given to Father K at one point. So maybe Father K was helping all of these wolves.
She was given to him.
Right.
I'm going to be very, very stoked to read some of the comments from people this week.
Yeah, absolutely. I
get some answers.
I know I'm getting some tweets right now, but I'm going to go through them after so that I can figure everything out, and we can come back next week for our freaking finale. I mean, how did that happen?
I'm happy, but I'm not happy. I'm not happy because I've only been here for a couple of episodes with you guys. I was watching it before, but just being here and like being on the after show with you guys, it kind of has opened my eyes a little bit more when I watch it at home.
Right.
So I'm kind of not stoked about that.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch every single episode, knowing everything we know now and see like who's being sneaky and what they're doing. I'm sure we'll have a little like slumber party and go through all of them. Hell yeah. Okay, so again, we see that Marcel, Diego, they're beating up the wolves, and they know about the stones, and we don't see them plant the dynamite, but they do. They plant dynamite on all of these people. Not all these people, actually. They let Diego doesn't want to, but he ends up letting Oliver go.
Okay,
because the whole thing, Jackson, and so I guess that he says he wants to kill Jackson, but then Marcel says, no, I have other plans for him, right? And those plans are to sit him there and put all this dynamite around him. How did Marcel know that Klaus and Elijah were going to come to try to save the wolves? How'd they even know that they were going to realize the wolves were missing, or that Davina was going to spill the location of them? You know?
Well, I just think that's just something to where the writers just wanted to just add it without trying to make it seem like it was a mystery, so much of a mystery or something.
What do you mean?
Well, sometimes I just think in order to go, as a writer, you would want to go fast forward some things to not make it such a big deal. Everything does not have to be a clue or an idea.
Okay.
So I just think they were just like, okay, well, we're just going to have Davina tell Klaus where Marcel is.
Yeah, but how does Marcel writes that note saying this is for Thierry? Because he knows that Klaus is going to find it. But how do you know Klaus was going to end up there?
This is TV. This is TV. I think you're coming outside of the...
No, well, I'm thinking more like, when Marcel ends up giving that big pitch to all the vampires at the end, he's like, I know him inside and out. I'm feeling like Marcel almost has an advantage here because he knows Klaus so well that he knew what Klaus's play was. He knew Klaus was going to take Josh. He knew he was going to get it out of Davina. All of these things. I feel like Marcel...
Smarter.
Yeah.
You said that. Yeah.
I really feel like he's a step ahead all the time now.
Right.
Except when he goes back. I mean, I guess it's ridiculous for me to say that because at the end, all of his people are dead, pretty much. So, right. Or they're all bit.
Well, and then again, I think Klaus even found that note. I don't think that note is imperative to that whole scene of that blow up scene. I just think that whether he found it or not, it still would have blew up regardless. I just think that...
Well, I think that he ignited the blow when he opened the box.
When he opened the box,
like
right.
green.
But I was going to say that. I think Klaus was looking for the stones, or just looking around to see what were in these boxes, to see what he could really find. So when he opened that first box and saw that it was more dynamites, of course he's going to look around and see, okay, are all of these full of dynamites,
Right.
So I think over him doing that, he's just like, oh, find another one. Because, he was looking at him just so like, oh, more dynamites. And then you open it and you see one with only a piece of paper in it. Of course you're going to read it.
Yep, absolutely. So, of course. And this is for Thierry, which I was glad they did because I hate when shows like this forget about characters so quickly. And he was such a big part. I'm glad that they're keeping him alive.
And of course, when he gets there and finds that Jackson is there, of course, I think he knows about... Well, I think Marcel left Jackson because he knows about the whole pact that his family, wanted to do between
Hayley.
Jackson and Hayley. And then on top of that, Jackson was the only one that was willing to tell them what was going on between them and Klaus.
Yeah.
And Oliver was not.
And Marcel's the one who told Hayley to get out of town, and he seemed to really be trying to help her. So, yeah, I'm wondering what we're missing right now. Like, what is it that he knows is going to happen to Hayley? Did he know? I just think he knows everybody's after her. I just think he is smart enough to realize that the witches want her. But anyway, while all this is going on, back to Cami we go.
Come on,
and
Cami.
Come on now, our human. So she's all right. She finds the apartment. It's this apartment she didn't know that her that Father K ever had, that her uncle had. Because she solved the code, apartment, whatever, gives the address. And she goes inside, and this killed us. This killed us.
Like, you walk to the window and then back and just give up. Like, I was over it.
And what does she do?
She gets a beer that we don't know how old the beer was.
I'm like, that beer is skunked, girl. Like, come on.
I was like, that probably tastes like water by now. Like, why are you drinking that beer? Like,
she's like, oh, well, I can't find anything. Let me quit and get a beer from the fridge. And then I don't know what it was, if she felt something or heard something, but immediately she's like, gets that look and walks towards the closet.
She sees the door. Yeah, she sees another door. And she goes, let me just look at it.
Yeah, and it's like...
You should have did that before you got the beer. You just gave up.
Yeah, I know. But I kept thinking somebody was going to have followed her there.
Right.
Wouldn't you think that Francesca would have put her people on her?
Yeah.
Because she knows, or maybe she did and we're just not there yet, but she knows Cami, or she thinks Cami has this key, even though Cami's claiming she doesn't. I would have somebody following Cami.
That's true, because she gave her 24 hours, and then maybe if she doesn't, maybe she, you're right. Because if I told Cami she had 24 hours, and
I would
I
think
didn't
she
really
goes somewhere.
trust her.
Yeah.
I would have my people on her
On
because
her to like find the key.
exactly
If she was
because if
gonna
she
put
doesn't
it
tell
somewhere.
me, my people were following her to at least show me what was her last step.
Exactly, and
So I get that.
You know, she at this point, Francesca's not positive if Cami even does have the key. So at least then she would know if Cami was lying to her.
Okay, but you know what? I think we kind of missed that thing about where Genevieve was speaking with Klaus with that page. Remember, she had one page of the book of that spell. Mm-hmm. And they made the pact. Well, Klaus made the pact with her.
So they make the pact that she's going to help all of the wolves. In order to do that, she wants the grimoire of Klaus's mother, and they make a deal.
And Klaus' deal was, okay, I'll give you the whole book when only my brother was giving you pages. I'm
right?
Gonna give you the whole.
Well,
book
he was giving
to
you
have.
pages for one ring for
Right.
Hayley. I'm going to give you the whole book for the whole werewolf
for
community.
you to have.
Right.
Did you see Genevieve's face when he said that?
What
it was like heaven. She was like, her eyes even got kind of bigger to me.
I know, which is why I'm surprised that she doesn't go with the deal. Because she said, I mean, she at the moment goes with it, but in the end.
She still doesn't trust Klaus. And then she even said that she even put him up during that situation. I know we haven't got to that point yet. I don't want to go ahead of us. But she even looked him in the eyes as he's weak and says, were you even going to give me the book?
Right, I know. And honestly, he says, now you'll never know. I'm thinking no. Knowing Klaus. But we'll get there. We will get there. So anyway, Cami's in this room and she's looking in there. There's, of course, a box just labeled Cami. You know,
For Cami.
She walks in and I'm like, how's she gonna find whatever she needs to find? This room is massive. Also, they're playing that spooky music that they did all episode. I'm
thinking
like,
that somebody's going to come behind her because she did not close that door to that apartment.
no, she
all the
didn't.
way.
And I'm thinking a skeleton's gonna fall out or something.
Right.
Like doors almost seem cracked. But no, she's just left a piece to read,
I
whatever.
think it was a stupid room. I think whoever did the set design of that was kind of not. And I may get some bad talk about this, but I think that room was not one of the best rooms. My thinking to myself is that for one, that if it was going to be a secret room,
At least make it a bookcase. Or like something, you know what I mean?
oh
Like,
yeah, or at the matter of fact, it had a window in there.
Oy.
So if it was a secret
I didn't even
room,
notice that.
If it's a secret room, like someone can throw a rock or try to figure out what window that is. If that's the maintenance of that guy or the manager of that building, he would know what this window is leading to. So it really is not a secret room. So that kind of threw me off. So I was a little bit bothered about the secret room. And then when she goes in the secret room and then see this big old green box out of everything that's so dark for Cami.
I mean, I'm with you on that. I'm sorry to whoever. Usually the sets look great on the show,
Yeah.
but it was very...
The whole time I was thinking, I was just like, it's a window.
The apartment was so empty that there was no searching to be done. That's why we didn't believe that she had actually looked, because it was a table and chairs, you know? Like, there was nothing to look under, nothing to look through, like, and then there was just this room. So, whatever it is, I still think that Francesca's people should have followed her. Maybe they did and we missed it, but Cami's going through all of this information. She starts to read. Jumping back, now we've got Francesca, who seems to be working with Klaus as Francesca brings the stones. And I've already saved Jackson, so Hayley's there, like, tending to Jackson's wounds. You're not feeling the Jackson-Haley thing at all?
I'm not. I'm
just,
only feeling like Jackson. Like, say for instance, Roxy. I hope I don't get any bad news from your fan out there that thinks you're a model. But if I grew up my entire life knowing that you were supposed to be my wife,
right?
Okay, then like you said, you grow up to be this bombshell. All right, so of course, you're not pregnant by another guy. That doesn't bother me. But I'm all about having you as my wife or having you in my life.
Right.
I don't care whether you wanted to go and be with your family here or there or whatever. I'm gonna be and do whatever I can to show you that I'm all about you.
Right.
I don't care about power. I don't care about trying to be, the rulers of New Orleans.
But you're both supposed to be king and queen. That's the thing. You're supposed to have power and each other.
Well, and that's maybe I don't think he cares about the power. I just think he likes Hayley.
Okay.
I don't think he cares about that. I just think he likes Hayley and he will do anything.
See, I'm having such a hard time being team Hayley Elijah because I do like them, but
Wait, I'm not team.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying right now I think people are picking sides. I think people are either team Elijah or team Jackson in terms of Hayley. And I'm having a hard time getting on either team because I like them both. You're having a hard time getting on either team because you don't like her with either.
I don't either, and I'm starting to get this vibe of Hayley just being she's just making stupid moves.
What do you mean?
This whole thing when she, even on this episode, when she was just like, who's gonna watch Genevieve? I'll stay here. Like, just big and bold, like you just have all this power, and you fought, and then again, you've been fighting like crazy. We even said the last episode, this girl is pregnant. Why is she like doing all this fighting? And like, you always like, well, she has this power baby in her, so this, the power from the baby, and then her
well,
power.
That's Jesse's play. Jesse thinks
whatever.
that like the baby is for me. Even if I had a powerful baby, I'd be still protecting that.
Exactly.
Thing.
So you're gonna let some witches, especially Monique, out of anyone, hold you down on the floor on some stairs?
Yeah.
Like, no. Boo.
I would be like Godzilla
baby,
down there, like
exactly, because you were screaming as if someone like Hulk was coming out.
She was screaming like that, but I want her to like
I wanted her eyes to turn, and I wanted her to just.
You know when you read those stories about like the mom who had a baby who's trapped under a truck, and the mom just lifts up the car, like,
right?
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You read things like that all the time. Like parents are supposed to have this super strength,
right?
Out of nowhere, and everybody's like, "What the? How did that even just?" You know, like that's what I want Hayley to do. I want Hayley to rip through her shirt and these people, and just like, you know.
And that's why I was bothered by that, because I was like, this whole time, even I said from the last couple of episodes, this woman is fighting like she does not have a baby in her stomach, you know, breaking woods, killing Michael, and I'm like, all of a sudden you can't kick back Genevieve, and
he's like
Monique,
frail
and some
little
old
bitches.
ugly little
I know,
witch.
I know.
On.
Okay, we will absolutely get to that place because that's pretty much where we end. But for now, what we see is that Hayley, she's talking to Jackson, and Jackson walks out and he says to Elijah, "Seems I owe you yet again," which was like, ooh. and then Hayley finally comes clean with Elijah and tells him that she's been betrothed to Jackson.
Yes.
And he's like, well, I understand family ties. And she's like, what? Tell me something. Like, give me something. Tell me that I don't have to, that being betrothed is stupid. And of course, again, we knew it was coming.
The noble.
And then he just leans in and kisses her. And then there was some weird continuity error where we see her pull away, and then they're still kissing in the close-up, whatever. And he says, finally, when they pull off, he goes, "You always have a choice." And this, to me, was like the cliche of all cliches. And I was like, see, I love the original so much, but when they do this thing where they copy other shows that have been done so many times, and I'm like, couldn't you pick a different moment to kiss her, or a different line, or something?
Or a way, because that was so corny.
I know.
Like, they don't even look good together.
They do.
They do not. Sorry.
I don't know.
Hayley needs a rocker dude.
No, okay. I don't know. I have a weird thing. It's a really weird thing. This is what I always say, and people get mad at me for saying it, but whatever. I really need couples to have the same color hair. Like, I have a weird thing with hair color, and they have the same color hair, so I'm okay with it. It's the weirdest thing. I like them to have the same hair color. I don't know why. So I think that they can totally do it. But same thing with her and Jackson, though. You know.
I was gonna say, I was just about to say
Which
that.
is what's giving me a hard time picking a team.
Because they say they have the same hair.
I know it's not always true. It's not always true, but I don't know why. I just think that couples with the same color hair look cute together.
Only thing I like about the whole Elijah and Hayley thing is the fact that how much they think about each other at any moment. Like if that time that they Marcel sent the humans to go and slash their self so the vampires can kill them, and Hayley got up and the first thing she did, Elijah.
Yeah, I know.
And after the blow up, the first thing that Elijah does is Hayley. You know? So it's like, so that's what I really, really love.
I know.
I'm shrinking.
No, you're not shrinking.
Yes, I am shrinking.
Maybe you just feel that way because I'm so small and now you're on my level. And now I'm thinking about all different things, and I remember how much I love Rebecca and Marcel, and they have different hair colors, so you know it happens.
See?
It does happen. There are exceptions to rule. But okay, so finally she tells them they have this kiss. We're like, oh, obviously we knew that was going to happen. And then Genevieve, we see Genevieve and Klaus together. And Genevieve talks about how she originally was going to ask for Hayley's blood. And Klaus was like, no, never. Take my blood instead. So now we know that obviously Genevieve knew that was what he was going to say.
Of course.
And so she has his blood in this mixture.
Because he cut her off. She was like, first I thought about Hayley.
Yeah, and she was just playing him.
Yes.
Everybody's playing him, which is why I'm starting to feel really bad, no?
I don't feel bad no more. I felt bad like maybe an episode ago, but now I'm just like, Klaus, like, dude, just go somewhere.
Don't give your blood. There's so much other people's blood, you know, she's setting you up. But anyway, he does, and she's making this potion concoction, whatever the spell is. Next thing we know, Marcel's gathering everyone. They haven't all been together for so long, and he tells them what the plan is. So here is the plan. He wants everybody to go after Genevieve, basically. He says, they have this witch. We're going to kill this witch. And in order to do that, I'm going to distract Klaus. Klaus is going to come after me while you guys take care of Elijah and the witch. Let's kill her. Let's ransack this place, and let's get out of there.
And they couldn't even get to her behind because Elijah was was wearing their ass.
I mean, I thought the plan was that they would be with Elijah so that they could be distracted long enough to go actually get Genevieve, but nobody even tried.
Well, for one, Francesca had her armed forces in front of the door.
Yeah, but at the time at least, we thought they were humans. Some of them were humans. Some of them got killed.
Yeah.
It was so weird. All the human ones were wearing like different suits
and the earpieces. Yeah.
and they never noticed. Completely bizarre. But and I'm surprised that nobody of Francesca's people had accidentally killed somebody at some point and switched the werewolf on. You know what I mean? Because like that's what happened with Tyler. I think he hit somebody on Vampire Diaries. I think he hit somebody in the car and by accident killed somebody. Because if any one of Francesca's people at any point had by accidentally killed somebody, they would have turned. So the fact that none of them
Whether
ever
it's a vampire or anything, anyway.
Right, anything, you just got to kill something. So I'm surprised that none of them ever had to, or none of whatever, because none of them had flipped, or maybe they did and she killed them off, because then it would have been telltale. I'm sure we'll learn more about it. But anyway, then we had our other song by Ms. Mr. Bones that we love, so you guys can download that one too.
Yes, that was a good one.
This show has some really good music on it. It really does. Different stuff. We're like pausing, Shazamming, like going up. I swear this was
Plug in Shazam.
I know. I was just going to say, I swear this is not a paid advertisement by Shazam. Please. But it is such a great thing. Okay.
It's all about iTunes. Subscribe. Rate us 5 stars, please.
As you hold up the AfterBuzz mug. Amazing. Okay. So I'm looking at all the rest that happened right now. Klaus, who's after Marcel, and then so Marcel, they go through with the plan, and Marcel's like, "Come and get me."
That was so corny.
Yeah. So tell me about this moment for you, because you're looking at me and you're like, This is the point of the episode where I was like, uh-oh, I don't know if you're happy right now. You're like, so corny, typical.
Yeah.
Where have you seen this before? Where is this coming from? And usually I feel like they're so original with Marcel and Klaus. Why did they go down this path? What are you thinking?
You mean when he says, "Come and get me"?
Yeah, or just him being up there and then them going on that whole...
Well, who hasn't done that before? I mean, regardless.
Right.
It's every movie when there's a plan and you want someone to chase you, where haven't you not seen that in what movie, for one?
Right.
Then for two, I just think that if I was the writer, I would have had Marcel build up the anger in Klaus and then swift away, and then Klaus chase after him.
Okay.
More than you just saying,
come and get
me.
Yeah.
Like, that was like so gay.
I
was like,
It was just a moment that went a little under, you know, it missed for me. It missed the mark. But fine, we'll give it to them. Sometimes you just need a quick line to get somebody out of there, and that's what happens. Now going back, I know we're so back and we're forth, so we're back.
Well, they did that tonight on the episode.
I know, of course, so that's how we got to cover it. So we're back with Cami here, and Cami is like calling everyone. She's figured it out. She looks at Francesca's birth certificate. It's falsified. She's really a werewolf, and she's calling. And Hayley's getting her call and hitting reject.
Okay.
Everybody's getting this call, and nobody's picking up. Is Cami really that unimportant? Because I feel like if Klaus had been calling all these people, everybody picks up. If Klaus calls, you pick up the phone. But if Cami calls, nobody picks up.
Well, she was kind of important when Father K was alive, but now I think because, you know, he's passed and Father K is not a worry anymore, and the key is not in his hands anymore, they don't really care. Like, she's not really that important. Which, by the way, you should have answered the phone. If Cami doesn't really call you, or you know that now that Father K is gone, you haven't talked to Cami, you should answer the phone.
But what happens in this scene if Hayley had picked up Cami's call and Cami had said, Francesca's a werewolf?
It still would happen. She still would be on the floor.
Well, it would have been right before the spell had been completed. Do you think that Hayley would have gone wild and tried to tear them up? Like, what would have happened?
No,
it would have been too late.
Yeah, it would have been too late for one, because when she put the phone down, Genevieve said it one more time, and then that was it, and just like, it's completed. So it was kind of like too late at that point. But even if it was not too late, Genevieve, all she had to do was just hold her hand up and go.
That's literally what she does.
Yes.
It's all editing. Editing just shakes the screen. She just goes like this, and the editing comes.
And see.
Exactly. Okay, so we find out about this side deal now. So, again.
This came out of nowhere.
But Genevieve, who is our token witch now, has paired up with Francesca because Genevieve's going to give Francesca the stones, and I guess what Francesca is giving Genevieve is Hayley, is letting her take her. So, because at first we're like, what does Genevieve get? Later on we see that she gets Hayley. How long has this been in the works? And if you were Francesca, would you have gone with Klaus, or would you have gone with, if you were Genevieve, would you have gone with Klaus, or would you have gone with Francesca?
But either or, Genevieve made it a point to whoever she goes with, she's going to get something out of it. Now, Francesca, when she gave the stones to Francesca did say, "Well, we both got what we wanted." We both asked the question, "Well, what did she get?" You know, because in my mind, I know with Klaus, she was going to get the book.
But now she gets Hayley.
So that's what it was.
That's what it was.
Okay, so that's what it was.
She's getting Hayley.
So either or. Smart move, Genevieve. Whoever she went with, she was going to have something that she still needed, regardless.
Absolutely. But I would think she would
rather
go
with Klaus because
but she wasn't sure he was going to come through.
But you also said exactly. But you also said that
the grimoire
book was something that you thought was going to keep, or maybe Jesse said this, that the book she was gonna use that to keep her alive without having to kill the baby.
That's what I would say. Yeah, I don't remember whether I said it or Jesse said it, but that's what I was thinking. If I was Genevieve, unless didn't think Klaus would come through with it, but if I was Genevieve, I would have rather the grimoire than sacrifice Hayley's baby.
So are you saying that there is a spell in that book that can keep Genevieve alive?
I think that. I don't know. But I'm thinking this book has every spell ever. You know? I'm thinking this book is like all powerful.
Well, even if that's the case, then I think that book also is something that can make her more powerful than even the witches that are powering her to make her nose bleed or to make her sacrifice something.
Because Klaus's mom, the original's mother, is the be all end all witch.
So So now I'm starting to think that now maybe Genevieve
she made the wrong choice.
She made the wrong choice for one. And for two, she doesn't really want to kill this baby.
Yeah,
she's just doing it because she couldn't trust Klaus, and Klaus,
she felt like her back was against the wall.
Oh,
and
Genevieve.
Yeah, I know. And now talking about Klaus. We go to Klaus and Marcel, which is the most gut-wrenching of everything. These two are fighting each other. After last week, we see these flashbacks. I know. Dude. I know, but we see these flashbacks of the two of them and how close they were, and they're like brothers or like father and son, whatever you want to call it, and they're wailing on each other. The only reason Marcel makes it out alive is because Klaus, all of a sudden, is man down.
Well, Klaus didn't want to kill him. Klaus was crying.
No, Klaus would have, though. Klaus was like,
he would have, but he was going to.
He was going to.
But he didn't want to.
Is there any doubt in your mind that had the witch's spell not started taking away Klaus's power, that he would have killed Marcel?
Oh, he would have killed him.
He would have.
Oh, he would have, yes. But as you can
scary.
Tell, my thing is, if you wanted to kill somebody, you would just, come on now, how quickly you can snap someone's neck or whatever. If you would just go ahead and do it. But why every time he and Marcel are in a situation like that, he has to give him this speech or say something before he does it?
Right, but the interesting part about it all is because now, yes, we have Josh, who's sick, but we also have all of Marcel's people, and the only cure is Klaus.
Klaus's blood, yes.
Which is what I think, this is predictions, but is what I think will put together Klaus and Marcel again. Marcel needs Klaus right now to save all his people, and Klaus can get whatever he wants in return. But Klaus isn't even strong enough right now because we find out from Genevieve, basically what she's done is she's linked these rings to Klaus so that every time the wolves decide not to turn and they use these rings, it is taking from Klaus's power and making him weaker.
Right.
That's like a mouthful, you know?
And it's so hard because he's so weak and can't do a darn thing.
Right. He can't do anything. So she linked the power to his blood so they can draw from his strength. And now he looks like crap on the floor. And not only that, but he's late to go save Josh, which is what will ultimately turn Davina against him. So I just feel like, man, I can't catch a break here. Like, everybody's turning because he promised Davina he'd be back to save Josh within 24 hours. And Davina's going to raise Michael from the dead. She's going to raise him right up after this because all she has left is Josh. That's all she cares about. And he already took Timmy, you know?
Davina's about to. I think Davina is about to become like the Queen Witch out of anyone.
It depends on what happens with if they can complete this harvest.
Genevieve is gonna die.
Yeah, I think Monique's got to go.
Monique is not going nowhere because Davina has to have someone. If anything, Monique will be the last to go because that was your friend and she has been doing. You know.
Monique either has to change or she's got to go. Because I think Genevieve is a better person than Monique is.
Oh, of course.
I think Genevieve could flip. And
I thought it was kind of funny when Monique was trying to kill the baby inside of Hayley. I
know. And they're like, you dumb stupid witch. I know. You stupid.
But, we did question if that was... If the baby needed to be...
Yeah, I know. And then, of course, we have Oliver, who's pissed at Francesca. Mm-hmm. He's sad that the way things played out. And Francesca's saying... At the end of the day, look at us, both of us wolves now. We have this ring. Mm-hmm. And the only thing we had to sacrifice was poor Hayley. Mm-hmm. So now I don't know whether they're just trying to kill Hayley. I mean, whether they're just trying to kill the baby or if they're trying to kill Hayley with the baby.
No, she was saying that in the fact that
poor Hayley,
she knew Hayley was going to stop them.
I know, but I'm thinking they want to kill the baby and then Hayley anyway. I'm thinking they're going to take them both.
I just think they were just saying that if...
No, they're going to kill the baby as the sacrifice.
Yeah, the witches are, yes, but not Francesca.
No, but Francesca knew that she was handing this over to... She was handing her over to Genevieve. Yeah. I'm sure she assumes that Genevieve's going to kill her and the baby.
In that case, I don't think that she was doing that to want to kill the baby. She was doing that in order to get the rings.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And then while Marcel's finding all of his people hurt and Cami shows up and she's too late...
What happened?
I know. And then, of course, Elijah walks in and is like, where is Hayley? And he's freaking out and thinks Marcel took her, but he didn't. So now I'm really thinking that this is going to be Team Brothers paired with Marcel again to get back Hayley and fight the witches and fight these werewolves for biting all the vampires. Mm-hmm. So now I'm thinking we're getting vampires all joined back together again to fight the werewolves and the witches.
Of course. Do you think Elijah may feed the vampires his blood?
Would feed the vampires his blood?
Give the vampires his blood? So, because then you say they can't, the vampires, Marcel needs Klaus in order to bring back his people?
Yeah, Marcel needs Klaus.
Klaus, yeah.
To bring back his people.
Yeah, so is it only Klaus that can do that? Couldn't Elijah do that?
No, just Klaus because Klaus is the hybrid.
Oh.
The original hybrid. So, because, I don't know what it is about Klaus' blood, but Elijah's blood can't do it. I forget exactly specifically what it is. That's definitely a Vampire Diaries fan question.
Yeah, help us out. Help me out, y'all.
Of course, because I'm thinking about so many seasons ago, we find out that it's only Klaus's blood that can, because people have flown Klaus in from all over the place to get his blood just to cure the werewolf bite. His seems to be the only one who could do it. I'm guessing that Davina, if she really thought about something, there could be some spell to cure it, and she doesn't have to bring back Michael, because bringing back Michael is the dumbest thing anybody could ever do. Everyone should be scared of Michael, but poor Davina, she's 16 and has nowhere to turn to and is just worried about her friend Josh.
At this point, Davina, girl, just get in the mind frame that someone's going to die in your life.
Yeah, I know. Everyone's going to die. It. I know. And then we see Hayley, like we're talking about, she's screaming, but she can't get them off. And the last thing we see, horrifying, is Klaus hearing her and starts screaming bloody murder. Oh my God, I'm petrified. I'm petrified for anybody who gets in his way. Once these wolves stop taking from the stones and he gets his full power back, he's going to be a force. I mean, we're getting into predictions now, so let's jump into predictions so we can talk about what's going to happen in our freaking season finale.
Season finale!
Okay.
And now, Your AfterBuzz TV.
You can't even get it out. You're like,
I know, man. It's like, so we see in scenes from next week, the baby is born alive. Mm-hmm. We see Hayley holding it and kissing it, and we see Klaus Jesus to the wall.
Yeah, that's just Genevieve. That has Genevieve written all over it. That's Genevieve going, poof.
I gotta know what you're thinking.
I pretty much think that it's not gonna happen. The baby is not gonna die.
So the baby's gonna make it to season 2.
Of course, that baby is making it to season 2. There's no one that is not going to allow Genevieve to do that. Genevieve is too weak of a person when there's other people around to have. Francesca may come back and not allow.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think Francesca cares.
The baby's part wolf.
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
The baby is part
wolf. But it's not Guerrero wolf. It's Crescent wolf.
No, but at this point, there's really no separation. She just wants the wolves, all wolves, to be.
I think there's a hierarchy within the wolves, just like there is within the vampires. You know, there's Elijah's and Klaus's vampires and Marcel's vampires. Now there's these 2 families of wolves. The fact that there's a divide in all of these.
Wait, I just thought about something.
Yeah.
Davina may have brought Michael back by then, and that could have been Michael there. I think there's so many people in that room right now that I think Michael probably had him pinned against the wall. So he was probably fighting his father.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but I think that the baby will make it to season 2 also. I don't know exactly how, but this baby is the key to everything. We've spent all season 1 fighting for this baby. So I'm going to be pretty pissed if this baby gets sacrificed. And I think that in order for this baby not to get sacrificed, Genevieve must die.
And Francesca's going to die.
And Francesca?
She's going to die.
I don't know.
Francesca's going to die because Cami, she's messed with Cami. Cami is getting meaner and stronger and more aggressive every day.
It's quite the prediction.
And for Francesca to do that to her, to Cami, she's livid.
I mean, we're going to have to stay tuned for next week, which, again, is our season finale. What are we going to do?
Dun, dun, dun.
We're going to rewatch every single episode, of course.
And we're going to do another after show, I think.
Yeah, oh yeah. But until next week, if I'm dying to talk to you and freaking out and have all these things to say, where can I find you?
You can find me, Instagram, Twitter, Cortez G West. I need to figure out how to change my name on Twitter. Can someone help me with that, please?
Maybe I'll help you afterwards with that. And you can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar, and you can find us at AfterBuzz TV. Keep the conversation going.
Yes.
iTunes, rate, comment, subscribe, YouTube.
5 stars.
All of that great stuff. Absolutely. And if you didn't watch tonight's episode of Chasing Maria Menounos, it was amazing. On Oxygen on Tuesdays at 10/9 Central. It's incredible.
On Oxygen, people.
Yep, Oxygen. So go check that out. That's our executive producer show, and it was so good. So until next week, same time, same place. Good night.
Why you have to do that?
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.